guys, it's Miss Simpson, and today it's time for math, and we are still talking about place value. I want everybody to get out a piece of paper, and on your piece of paper, I want you to write this number. So, 1,325,565,121. Woo! I want you to write this number, and I want you to draw your place value, houses on all of them. I'm going to give you a sneak peek. Your place value houses, I want you to label the place value for every single number in this number. So pause the video and go ahead and do that. So I am going to start, and I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to draw my house. This is my ones house. And so we think of it HTO, hundreds, tens, ones, my HTO house. Then we've got my second house, and this is my thousands house. And I have 100,000, 10,000, 1,000, HTO. Then I have my millions house. I have 100 million, 10 million, 1 million, HTO again. And then here I just have billions because we don't go farther than a billions in the fourth grade. Then here's where it gets a little tricky. We have our decimal is and, that's how we say it. Do y'all remember what these two places are called? This one is the tenths, not tens, tenths. And this is the hundredths. So when I see this, I always think of money. So like this could be $121.25. Or if I had this right here, I could have a 0, it could be 20 cents. Or if I didn't have a 2, it could be 5 cents. But that's what I always think of decimals as. So if I had a number like this, how much money do you have? $1.05. You know that's in the hundredths place. You have to have that 0 placeholder there. So anyway, let's go ahead and let's talk about the different forms of a number. There are a variety of forms. There's word form, expanded notation, and there's standard form. This number is written in standard form. So I want you right now to pause the video, and I want you to write it in expanded form. So pause the video, and then we'll check your answer. So when I write a number in expanded form, I start from the left and I work all the way to the right. So I would write my 7 and I would fill the rest in with zeros. And I am not going to do the tenths and the hundredths place yet. So I would do 70 million plus, then I would do my 5 million plus my 300,000 plus 80,000 plus 4,000. And then look, I don't have to do plus zero because they're just zeros. I can just do plus 2 plus, and now I've got to do decimal 8 plus, that would be like 8 cents. Remember, we think of it as cents. So if I am going to do this one, I can't just do 5 because it's 5 cents. This is like saying 80 cents, and this is like saying 5 cents. Okay, now if I was going to do expanded notation, that is where you would write the number and you would multiply it by whatever place value it's in. So I have a 7, and I would multiply it by the 10 millions place. And then I would add it to the next one. So I would have a 5 times whatever place value it's in. So that's in the if this is the ones, tens, hundreds, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, this is the 1 million. So I'd multiply it by 1 million. Then I would add it to my next one. So that would be 3 times whatever place value that 3 is in. 100,000. Plus my next one would be my 8 times whatever place value it's in. 10,000 plus whatever 4 times whatever place value it's in. 1,000 plus, I've got 2 zeros, so I don't really care about those. 2 times whatever place value it's in. It's just in the ones. Plus, now here's where it gets tricky. I have been teaching you guys to write it. Here's 8 times whatever place value it's in. This is in the tenths place, and I'm going to write that out. Tenths. This is in the hundredths place. You can represent the tenths place like this. So I could do 8 times 1/10. To also represent that 8, I could also do 8 times 1/10, like that. Those are the same numbers. This one's just in a decimal. This one's in a fraction. Same exact thing. This one, I could do 5 times, and this to represent hundredths, it's just 1 over 100. 5 times 100. 1/100th, 1/10. That's a fraction. 1 over 10, 1 over 100. So I could do 8 times a tenth. I could also do 5 times 100th. Those are the same things. So a lot of you are getting confused when they start talking to you about the tenths and the hundredths place. Don't get confused about that, because it is just 1/10 or 1/100th, 1 over 10 or 1/10. You can write it both ways. Okay, so now I want to take a look at some of what you guys did yesterday. So give me 1 second to get it out. All right. So yesterday, y'all did this paper, and we are going to go over a few of them together. So the population of Indonesia is 252,164,800, which shows a way to express the value of the 5 in this number. So it looks like this is all expanded notation. So all I would have to do is look at this 5. And I would do 5 times whatever place value that 5 is in. So this is the ones, tens, hundreds, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million. So the 1 millionths place. So that shows me that 5. So that would be A. This one, what shows another way to express the value of 8 in the number 7 and 85 hundredths? So look at this. They did that thing that I showed you in expanded form. They did 7 plus 8 times 1/10, because that's the tenths place, and 5 times 100th, because that's the hundredths place. So it would end up being we would have to show it in the decimal form. So the 8 just needs to be in the tenths place, and that would be J. I also showed you yesterday in our small groups that all you had to do was take that 7 and put zeros in for the number. So if they were talking about 7/85 hundredths, that is what it would look like when I put zeros in for every number but that 8. Okay, this one was especially difficult. I just want to remind you, when I am going to the left, I am getting 10 times bigger. When I am going back to the right, I am getting 1/10 smaller. So the value of the circled 6 is 60 times the value of the underlined 6. So is this 60,000, is it 10 times or 60 times Is it 60 times bigger? Well, it's not 60 times bigger because if I took 6,000 and I multiplied it by 60, I would get 360,000. Well, that's way too big. The value of the circled 6 is 10 times. So I moved over my place value once. So every time you move up a place value, it is 10 times bigger. So ones is 10 tens is 10 times bigger than ones. Hundreds is 10 times bigger than tens. Thousand is 10 times bigger than hundreds, and 10,000s is 10 times bigger than 1,000s. So yeah, 60,000 is 10 times bigger than 6,000. So because if I took 6,000 and I multiplied it by 10, I would get 60,000. And that's what the value of that circled digit is. So this one would be B. And I know it's not a tenth and I know it's not a hundredth because if you go right on a number, you're getting 1/10 smaller. If you go left, you're getting 10 times bigger. So it's got to be bigger. So it can't be those. Okay, let's look at this one. In which number is the value of the 4 equal to 4 times 1/10? Remember, I told you 4 times 1/10 is the same as saying 4/10. That's the same thing, 4/10. So if I have 4/10, how do I write 4/10? Well, you would have a 4 in the tenths place. So that could not be that because that's the hundredths place. That is just in the ones place, so that's just 4. That looks good to me. There's a 4 in the tenths place, and that's 40. So it's got to be C. All right, those are the ones that I saw most of you having the most trouble on. This one as well, but it's the same thing as this one. If you move to the left, it's times 10. If you move to the right, it's 1/10. So let's look at it. Which other digit has a value that is exactly 1/10, the value of the circle digit? So remember, if I'm moving to the right, I'm getting 1/10 smaller. So what is only 1/10 smaller? Well, it's a 2. Only 1/10. If I wanted another tenth, it would be 7. Anyway, so today for your assignment, you have something that looks very similar with very similar questions as the one that you just did. Now, they are different questions, so don't rush through, but they are the exact same type of questions that talk to you about place value, expanded notation, expanded form, and all what place value the numbers in and everything. You guys have fun. If you need any help, come see me